Every single day, you open a heavy white door in your kitchen, and you experience a complete biological lie. You feel a refreshing blast of icy air hit your face. You instinctively assume the machine is a winter storm trapped in a box, actively blowing coldness onto your food. But what if I told you that cold is an illusion, a concept made up entirely by your nervous system? Physically speaking, cold does not actually exist. To understand the magic box in your kitchen, you have to break your understanding of reality. In physics, there is no such thing as cold. There is only heat. Heat is real. Heat is energy. It is the frantic, chaotic vibration of microscopic atoms. When you put your hand on a hot stove, you feel atoms violently crashing into your skin. But when you touch an ice cube, you aren't feeling cold entering your hand. You are actually feeling the heat being rapidly sucked out of your body. Cold is just a word we invented to describe the terrifying feeling of our energy being stolen. And that is exactly what your refrigerator is. It is not an ice maker. It is a relentless, highly engineered heat thief. Think about a fresh apple sitting on your counter. Left alone, that apple is a ticking time bomb of microscopic life. Bacteria and mold constantly try to devour it, but they need warmth and energy to multiply. For most of human history, preventing invisible rot was our greatest struggle. We used salt, smoke, and literal caves to slow decay. Then we figured out how to hijack the laws of thermodynamics. We realized, to save the apple, we didn't need to wrap it in cold. We just had to forcefully rip the heat right out of it. So how does a metal box steal heat from your groceries and throw it into the room? The secret is a shape-shifting liquid hiding in your fridge walls. It's called a refrigerant. If you heat water on a stove, it boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit into gas. But a refrigerant is a chemical freak. It boils into gas at sub-zero temperatures. This is the psychological key. When a liquid boils into gas, it must absorb massive heat from its surroundings. Imagine putting your wet arm out a moving car window. Wind hits the water on your skin. The water evaporates. To evaporate, it steals body heat from your arm. Your skin feels freezing cold. Your fridge uses this exact trick in a closed, endless loop. Let's trace the journey step by step. Inside your fridge walls, hidden behind plastic, is a winding metal tube called the evaporator coil. Liquid refrigerant enters this coil. It meets the warm air inside the fridge. To this weird chemical, the inside of your fridge feels like a furnace. The liquid instantly boils. As it boils into invisible vapor, it acts like a thermal vacuum cleaner, violently sucking heat from your apple, milk, and the air itself. The air inside the fridge isn't getting cold because cold is added. It's getting cold because the heat was kidnapped. But now we have a problem. A tube full of hot gas carries all the stolen heat. We need to get that heat out and turn the gas back into liquid. Enter the heavy lifter, the compressor. Ever heard your fridge hum or buzz at night? That's the compressor waking up. The compressor is the mechanical heart. It grabs the warm gas and brutally squeezes it. Squeezing gas into a tiny space makes atoms smash together. It gets furiously, dangerously hot. The fridge has taken low-level heat from your food and concentrated it into intense, high-pressure vapor. Now this boiling hot gas is pushed outside to the condenser coils. If you've touched the metal grid on the back of your fridge, it feels warm, sometimes very warm. That's not the machine overheating. That's the heat from your apple and milk being expelled into your kitchen. The gas inside the back coils is hotter than your room air, so heat always moves from hot to cool. The heat radiates out of the metal tubes into your house. As the gas bleeds heat into your kitchen, it cools down. Under pressure, it condenses. It turns back into liquid. The thief has dropped its stolen loot. But the cycle isn't ready to repeat. We have a liquid, but it's still under high pressure. If we send it back, it won't boil and steal heat. It needs to relax. It needs to expand. Enter the final hero, the expansion valve. A tiny pinhole that high-pressure liquid is forced through. Imagine your thumb over a garden hose. Water pressure builds behind your thumb. When it sprays out, it becomes a fine, relaxed mist. When liquid pushes through the valve, pressure drops to almost zero. Because pressure vanishes, the liquid rapidly expands. Expanding a liquid makes it shockingly cold. The refrigerant plummets to sub-zero temperature. Now it's a freezing, hungry liquid again. It flows back to the evaporator coils. ready to meet a new carton of eggs, boil into gas, steal heat all over again. It's a beautiful, violent, invisible war in your kitchen 24/7. Boil, squeeze, cool, expand. Evaporator, compressor, condenser, valve. An endless loop of thermodynamics. It tricks your brain into feeling something that doesn't exist. Your refrigerator doesn't make things cold. It's a tireless guardian. It isolates your food, actively hunting down the heat of the universe, throwing it out the back door, so that time for your groceries stands perfectly still.